Hi friends, it's Becky. Welcome back to my channel. My channel is all about my good midlife crisis. I am journeying through my 40s and I am trying to get my poop in a group. I have been working on my financial, my physical, and my mental health with a primary focus on my financial health. If these seem like something that you would be interested in journeying along with me on, please hit that subscribe button. I would love to have you come along. It helps keep me accountable, and I'm really hoping that something I do or say will help or inspire or motivate you to do the same. Today's video is going to be about closing out my first paycheck of June. So this is going to be the first time I've done this. I don't normally do paycheck by paycheck closeouts, but my Budget Mom book has never once balanced out. Like, let me just, for example, get this right up in your face. I don't even bother totaling these at the end of the month because they're just not even close. Like, they're not even close to what I'm supposed to be. So I just don't. I tried. I used to try. And then I don't even know where I stopped. Like, here was $86.84. I was completely off by like $90 in April. And I don't know why. So I was hoping that doing this on a paycheck by paycheck closeout instead of in a monthly closeout might help me. And I also think I realized something that I was doing wrong that might help me also. So stay tuned for that. But first, let's look at my calendar. I want to go over what I spent. So if you have been watching my channel, you'll know I did a fresh start in June, which means I took all of the money that was on all of my accounts and I put it at the top because I use YNAB as well. And so I just put it all in one pot and I distributed it all out again where I needed it to be, regardless of where it was previously. I did try to match my savings and my sinking funds to where they were, but I used, for example, my Budget Mom savings challenges. I used the money that was in there to cover where I needed because my month is super tight this month. And I don't know, I think it's just because I've been doing overspending. So June will be a for sure, like I started fresh on June 1st. So on June 1st, I went to H-E-B, which is the grocery store here near me, and did some grocery shopping. And then on the 3rd, which was that Friday, I went to Sonic and I got some dinner on my way home from getting my second new laptop because I'm doing intermittent fasting and it was just about time to start fasting and I didn't have time to come home and cook. So that Saturday, I went and got my nails done. They came out super cute this time, no bleeding. I really like this new place, so I'm going to go there again. And then that place was halfway to Dunkin' Donuts from my house, so I went and got myself a coffee and picked up some donuts for Nathan and myself. And then Nathan and I went and watched Top Gun that day. Yes, we did, and we used my Cinemark membership. And y'all, if you have not seen Top Gun, watch it. That movie was so good. It was so good, in fact, that on Sunday evening, I didn't write it on here because I didn't actually spend any money. Nathan and I went back and saw it again because it was just so good we couldn't stop thinking about it. Sunday, I drew out money on my way to church to put into the collection for my church donation. The first Sunday of the month is when we do our African Assistance Fund collection, so I stopped and picked that up. Then after church, we usually go out to lunch, people that are able to, so we went to a place called Rose's Cafe. And then I stopped at H-E-B and picked up a couple of things that I had forgotten on the first one. It might have just been, I don't even know. Anyway, I went to H-E-B. I had 2 no-spend days on Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday is the day I went up to my bestie's house and I brought Whataburger for her and her husband, and then for our friend Kay and for myself as well. So I stopped at Whataburger. They all paid me back for their food, but I also bought my own food. Then I was out of town this whole weekend. It's Sunday evening, but I was out of town starting yesterday morning, and I just got home a little bit ago. So I went to Sam's to fill up with gas because it was $2.49 everywhere around here for the last week, and it was $2.39 at Sam's. So I always go there. It's just cheaper. And I also went in and picked up a couple of things that I needed since I was down there. What did I get? I don't even know. I got some steaks for my mom. I got some tasty cakes. Y'all, I'm from Jersey. You heard me talk about tasty cakes. I'm going to go grab them. Here, this one's open. I may have to edit that, but here are candy cakes. These are little, they have like a cake and they're covered in chocolate and there's a peanut butter dollop in them. They are my favorite. Anyway, I picked some of those up at Sam's, which was probably not the best idea for my weight loss journey, but I have a really hard time resisting those. And a couple of other things. The kids will be here. Nathan's kids come back on the 16th, so we got a couple of things for getting ready for them. Then I went into Lampasas. We had a church thing this weekend. We call this the June Gathering because it's when we all meet to study a subject. This subject, I don't even know what the subject of this one was. The one talk that I listened to was Judge Not. One was If You Love Me, Keep My Commandments. I don't know what the theme was. I'd have to look at what the theme was, but they were really good talks. But anyway, we do that every year, the second Sunday of June. So I was in there and I stayed at my mom's house. I went to H-E-B and picked up a couple of things for the weekend on my way out of town. And then I took my mom out to Giovanni's, which is the Italian restaurant in town. If you follow me on Instagram, you already knew that because I posted a picture of their chicken marsala, which is my absolute favorite meal. And it's huge. It's like a giant plate. It's 2 big chicken breasts, so I have that for dinner tonight. I'm really excited to eat that. Actually, it's 5 o'clock. I'll probably eat that here as soon as I'm done filming. And it was my friend Robin's birthday. We haven't celebrated it yet because I was out of town and she has her kids this weekend, but we'll celebrate that soon. But it was Robin's birthday. Happy birthday, Robin. I don't think she watches my channel, but if she does, happy birthday, Robin. And then today, I took my mom and nephew to Whataburger for breakfast. I didn't take them to breakfast. I went to Whataburger and picked up breakfast for the 3 of us on our way to church this morning. So that is everything that I have spent this weekend or this month so far. I also set up my goals, and let me see if I can zoom in. And I may, bear with me, I'm sorry. I'll try to make this as easy as possible. But it's really hard because this camera doesn't autofocus. So it's really hard to zoom in and out while I'm moving around. So my goals for this month are to have 10 no-spend days. I did hit that last month, but barely. So I've already got 4 this month, and it's only the 12th, so I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that I'll get 10. I have 4. So, and I'm trying to save my May, because if you've been watching, you'll know that May, everything got messed up, and I wasn't able to put my Budget Mom savings away. I'm a member of the Budget Mom Savings Challenges, and so I saved $100. I was supposed to save $100 for May, but I wasn't able to, so I want to save that as well as the June challenges, which I don't have a total for yet. Also, I've been keeping track of, I watch a lot of YouTubers, and I've mentioned this before, but I've noticed that a lot of YouTubers, especially British YouTubers, say, if that makes sense, and at the minute. And I've never heard those 2 phrases as often as I have since I started watching YouTube budgeters. So I started keeping track and saving $1 for every time they said it. So in the month of May, I started keeping track in the month of May. I saved $41. I've got, if that makes sense, 25 times. And thank you, Rainbow Budgets, for that. She had one video where she said it like 10 times. She doubled what I had saved. And I commented on that video and I told her that I was doing a savings challenge for if that makes sense. And she said she was going to throw some extra ones in for me. Also, something got set on my book that was greasy. I think it was the donuts and everything. It got icky. And then at the minute, there were 16 of those. So I saved $41 in the month of May that I want to try to save, put away this month, which I was able to do out of this first paycheck. And then I'll keep track. I have a running tally of where I am in June. I think actually June's going to be even bigger than May was, but we will see. All right, let's get into my my actual breakdown of what I did. Well, that's my actual breakdown, but like the budget by paycheck. Here is the budget by paycheck not bill tracker, but paycheck tracker page where you enter your income for the month and then your anticipated expenses and then your actual expenses. So because I did a fresh start, I just took, instead of putting my income, I just took my actual totals that were in all of my accounts. So my checking account had $1883.37. My savings accounts, I have two savings accounts. I have one in my actual credit union that I use for banking, and then I have an Ally high interest yielding account. So I had $1679.53 in those two accounts. My HSA, which is a health savings account, had $346.57. And then my Venmo account, which is not my Venmo credit card, my actual like Venmo account, had $24.41. Anytime anybody pays me in Venmo, I don't transfer that to my bank. Typically, I leave it in there, and then I use that money to pay off my Venmo card every time I use it. So I had that when I first filled this all out, and then I tried to put the money where like the bills that were going to come out before I got paid again were going to be, my variable expenses, my sinking funds, and I did this for all of my categories. Except the only ones that didn't have all of the categories were the bills, because they weren't all due out of this first check. Well, this before I got my first check in June, technically. Then once the dust settled, because I know, things don't always clear immediately. So what I actually ended up having, because something cleared for about $42, so I ended up having actually $1841.34. Savings, HSA, and Venmo were the same. So I actually ended up with just a little bit less in there than I was anticipating. And then my bills all came out, and so this I've been doing correctly. I know this is correct. And here is where I did something different. You'll see I did actually put $25.27 into the category to pay my Chase card, because I use YNAB. And if you're familiar with YNAB, when you do any spending on a credit card, it pulls that money from the category that you had it assigned to, which I don't know what this was. It was probably household. I don't know what it was. It was pets. Actually, it's pets, because I have that set up on auto ship. So it was probably pets, the $5, and then the interest hit. And so that pulls it from a separate category where I budget for interest. It puts everything together in there. So that $25.27 was actually sitting there. But here's where I think I've been messing up. I've been counting $25.27 in here, even though I didn't actually spend $25.27 in this category this month, because I didn't pay the bill until this check, which was not in this page. So I think that's part of what was messing me up. So you'll see when I get to the end of this that I actually rolled that over and I accounted for that somewhere else. Here are all of the bills. I think all the rest of them were exactly as I anticipated. And y'all, I did cancel my wash and roll, which is my car wash. I canceled it the other day, and ironically used it today for the first time in 2 months. But my membership, since I just paid it on the 7th, is good until the 6th of next month. So I'm going to try to use it as much as I can this month. And I was at my mom's house, and she lives on that dirt road, so my car was covered in dust, and it just needed a car wash really badly. So I did go through that on my way home today. But anyway, that's canceled, so that'll come off of my expenses going forward. Okay. Then coming down to my variable expenses. My pet expenses, I put $47 in there, and then you'll see, again, like I did with the Chase Amazon, I didn't actually spend any money in that $47, so I changed that to $0. I pulled $40 for something, and then I had $7, but then I transferred that to my pet emergencies, because at the end of every month, whatever's left in my pet expenses, I'm transferring to my pet emergencies. My health care was this actual amount, because some money hit my account from my paycheck. It goes in a couple of days before I get paid, so this number will, like my HSA money will go into my HSA account before my paycheck actually hits my account, so it will be in the different pay period, just to be confusing, I think. Anyway, I highlighted this in pink, and you'll see things highlighted in pink because this is not money that I spent. I did not spend this money. I saved this money, and my pink is my color for saving. So when I do my totals and I'm totaling up at the end of the month, which I can't do yet because the month's not over, I'll count these toward my savings total instead of toward my spendings total, and I think that will help. Budgeting, same thing. I did put the $984 in there, but I didn't spend it, so I'm rolling it over into the next paycheck. Pet emergencies, nothing, I didn't touch it. Groceries, this is what I actually spent. Dining out, what I actually spent. Self-care, I only spent 40 because I actually had cash randomly, and so the tip was in cash. So I only spent 40 on my nails because, like I said, my nail, they went down. The price, because I switched salons, this place is better and cheaper. So I'm happy with that. My contacts, those only come out every 4 weeks. Fun money, I did spend $19.20. I don't even know what I did that on. And my niece, I sent her $25. I keep kicking you. Stop kicking people, Becky. It's not nice. Okay. My clothes, my poor clothes category. I always put money into this category and then take money out. So I wish I could say that I rolled this over. I did not. I pulled this money to send to Tiffany. Car maintenance, nothing. I didn't. At the end of this check, I actually hadn't touched it. But in the new check, I have touched it because I ended up having to replace, if you watched my last video, the pillar on by my windshield on the passenger side just popped off. I don't know what caused it. I'll put a picture of that in here just in case you didn't see the last one. But it was the weirdest thing. I was just driving down the highway and all of a sudden really loud wind noises happened and the piece of my car just popped off. The clips broke and I have no idea what caused it. I have replaced it now, so it's fine. But that was like $80 something and I only had 110 in my car maintenance, so that took a big hit. But that's what that's there for. That's why we have it. And these are all just my sinking funds, so I didn't spend any money out of them, but I did add to those categories so I could keep saving for them. I didn't pay anything toward extra debt with this money. I actually didn't make any extra debt payments this month. Well, Seth's car. I always make the extra because he pays me that, but that's not my money, that's Seth's money. Okay, and then my savings, I was able to put my, keep the amount that I had in my emergency fund there without touching it. The 52-week savings I was able to put in. The budget mom, I said this is where I had pulled what I needed to cover different categories as I was redistributing the money. So I had originally hoped to put $279. I was able to put $240, which is still good. I'm still happy with that. And my new car didn't get pulled from this time. So I'm happy with that. I have $78.11 that I was planning to roll over, which means I am still off by $44.22 somewhere. I don't know where. I don't know how. But I really do think I'm doing this correctly, and I think this error is probably caused by me starting with the fresh start and not really for sure knowing what my actual budget, actual account balances were when I really started this. The page that I wanted to talk to y'all about is this. So if you know me, or if you've been watching, and if you don't, hi, I'm Becky. I'm so happy you're here. I don't do cash budgeting. I do fake cash stuffing when I do my my savings challenges and things like that, and I'm actually fixing to film that video next, so stay tuned. But I don't do real cash, and so I don't need this page. I don't take anything to the bank to roll over, to pull out and to figure out what I need, but I decided to use this to figure out what I'm going to do with my money. So here are all of the categories that had money in them that were not savings categories at the end of this paycheck cycle. My pet expenses had $7 in it, and so then I wrote, do I want to roll it over or do I want to reassign it? And I decided to reassign this to pet emergencies. Budgeting had $9.84. I was rolling $9.84 into the new paycheck cycle. Groceries had $8.85. I decided to roll 7 cents of it over and put $8.78 to my reimbursable. If you watched my YNAB budget with me video that I posted on Thursday, you'll see I had money that I had covered something for Nathan. I can't remember even what it was. And the way we do bills and things is we just keep track of everything in an app called Splitwise, and then at the end of the month when I pay him rent, it just tells me you've paid this, he's paid this, and here's the difference of what you owe him for your rent. So he doesn't give it to me every pay period, and it was really bothering me seeing the negative money. So I covered it because I'm going to get it back. I just don't like to see the negative. Dining out I rolled over, fun money I rolled over, and the Chase Amazon, this is where I said, remember I had that $25.27 in there, but I hadn't actually made the payment yet. And here's where I rolled it into the next paycheck so I could make that payment, which I did on Friday. I hope all of this makes sense. I hope that makes sense. Anyone want to join me in the keeping track of these? So let's go, because I did not film my budget with me for this paycheck, because y'all, I totally forgot I got paid last week. I had no idea I was getting paid. I was getting my worksheet ready to film this video, and I checked my checking account to balance everything and reconcile my checking account, and I saw my paycheck pending, and this was on Wednesday. I was like, why is my paycheck in here a whole week early? And then I was like, oh, because it's not a week early. I get paid on Friday. That's why my check is pending in here. So I'm sorry I didn't have time to film this one. But I did get my regular paycheck, which was $17.0848. This is what I get every 2 weeks. I'm salaried, so every 2 weeks I receive that. I have not actually gotten Seth's money yet, but I know he will pay me. He pays me every month. And then here is how I wanted to allocate that money. So Chase Amazon, I only really am budgeting $100 because that is the minimum payment that I have decided I'm going to be making on that card. This is the last card. Well, it was the only card I had that wasn't paid to zero every month, but now I have a Best Buy card. Boo! But anyway, so I budgeted $100, and then my actual will be $125.27 because that is what I actually paid. And that other money will be the rollover from last month, which I will need to account for up here. Audible, I switched my plan from the monthly credit to every other month credit. I was going to cancel it and just drop it down to the included library only, but it was only 50 cents more plus tax to go to where you can access everything and then you get a credit every other month. So I figured for 50 cents a month, I'd rather, that's basically I'm paying $1.02 for this credit and I'm still paying to access the library. That's the way I look at it. So I thought that was a good deal. Suddenlink is my internet bill. Seth's car, again, he will pay me for that. And my rent, I decided I am not responsible enough, at least not yet, to leave money in a holding category, which is what I have been doing the last couple of months, and that's what really got me into trouble in May. I left it in a holding category, and my brain, similar to the way it looks at cash, looks at that money as it's not assigned to anything. I can just spend this money. And I did, and I shouldn't have, and it put me really behind where I couldn't make any extra debt payment to my consolidation loan, and I still can't, although this month is for a different reason. But anyway, I've decided to automatically assign. So even though Seth's car and my rent and my couch were not due out of this check only needs to go through the 23rd, and these bills are due on the 27th and the 30th, I am trying to put the money aside now so that it is in a category and my brain understands that that money is not available to spend. And then I had a Safari Winery. This is the winery. I did cancel this membership, but they told me that I hadn't met the distribution requirements, that I was required to have 2 distributions. And I responded and I said, I did. When I signed up, they told me that the December distribution, because I signed up at the very end of November, the wine I got that day would count toward my December distribution. And then I did the March distribution. And they told me no, the December one didn't count. It was just a discount on the wine that I purchased that day, which was, you know, the exact same price as the wine membership, but whatever. So I still had to pay, which wasn't in my category, which wasn't in my original budget when I worked it up. So that is part of why I wasn't able to make the extra debt payment to my consolidation loan. And the other reason is because I have that new new Best Buy card. So anyway, it's whatever. It'll be fine. Coming down to dining out. My dining out, I put my regular $75, groceries $150, fun money, I'm only giving myself $30 a month, so I had already put $20 in there, and I have $10 more, and I think I'm rolling over something. I only have like 80 cents to roll over. Yeah, so when I do my actual, it'll be $10.80 of what I actually have in here. Gas, I'm doing $50 a paycheck now. Because gas, I know everybody knows this, it's everywhere. Gas is so expensive. So I was doing like $30 a paycheck, $60 total a month, and now I'm doing $50 a paycheck. But whatever. So I did fill up before I went in till I pass this. My pet expenses, I do $50 a month. That is for things like their food, their toys, their treats. I think my dogs need new leashes. It's all for that. And if anything is left over at the end of the month, then I've moved that into my pet emergency fund to build up, and that is for vet visits and any unexpected things that come up that I don't have the money for in my regular pet expenses. I give myself $25 a month for budgeting, which I used to buy new fake money, which you can see in here. Because the old cash that I used had $2 bills, and it didn't have very many ones, but it had a whole lot of $2 bills. I'm like, who uses $2 bills? So I bought this so I could have ones for my cash stuffing video. So I did order some more of that. I use this normally to buy stickers, like these from Life in Envelopes, and then these little stickers, excuse my arm, that I buy at Walmart just for my like random daily things. So that's what I use my budgeting category for. If anything's left over at the end of the month, not at the end of the paycheck. At the end of the paycheck, I will roll it over into the next paycheck. But at the end of the month, I think I'm going to just reassign that. But we'll see. I guess it goes month to month if there's anything I think I'm going to need. I put $75 in my gifts and giving, $80 in my ecclesial expenses. This is my church donation. And then I do $21 every check toward my contacts for the month, because every 4 weeks they ship me contacts, and those are $42. Self-care got $50. I haven't used it yet, but this is what I will use to get my nails done. Pet emergencies gets $50. Car maintenance $50. Vacation $50, which I'm really going to have to do something to up that, and I don't know what I'm going to do. I might have to pull it from savings when it's time. But for right now, it gets $50 a month. My passport renewal gets $1.77 a month. My holiday giving gets $46. This is for like Christmas giving, and so I will have it. YNAB is the app that I was telling you about that I use for my budgeting. Besides this, I do both the Budget Mom book and I do YNAB. It's a paid subscription, so I put $9.20 away every month, and then when my subscription is due in September, I will have the money set aside to pay for it, and I won't have to worry about coming up, because I think it's like $99. I won't have to cash flow that. I have it set aside. Wondershare is the editing software that I use to create these videos, which I am playing around with and really trying to learn. I'm not good at it by any means yet, but I am working, so. And that's a paid subscription. It's not due until October of 2023 because I did renew it a little early, and so that added some time on for me. Sam's Club is my Sam's Club membership. Sam's Club is, in case you're not familiar, which I think most people are, but it's like Costco or BJ's. It's a big bulk box store. And then my registration and inspection is about $100 a year, so I save $8.66 a month, so I'll have the $100 in October. Seth pays me for his car. I did refinance that when I did my consolidation loan for my car as well, where I used my car's collateral to pay off all of my high interest credit cards, and I refinanced this car. So Seth, in case you're new, is a friend of mine who took over payments for a car that I had purchased for my niece. Give me 1 second. My other dog decided to take a very long drink. Sorry about that. Emmett, my older dog, was right when I was getting ready to start filming, started drinking. So I waited to start filming until he was done. And then Shad just came in and decided to start drinking. And it's right, like the water is right there next to where I film. So it's super loud. They're very big dogs. They make a lot of noise when they drink their water. Anyway, Seth took over the car payments for that car when Tiffany, my niece, moved out because she couldn't afford the car payments anymore, and I don't need 2 cars, and he needed a car at that time. So he took over those car payments. But since I've refinanced it, the payments went down by $55.42, and he and I agreed when I did that we would just keep putting the same payment toward it every month, since he was already used to sending me that money, just to pay it off that much faster. $55 a month isn't going to do a ton, but, you know, every dollar helps, so I do an extra $55.42 from that, and the rest of the money that he sends me every month goes toward his part of the car insurance, because since the car is in my name, I have to keep the insurance on it. And then, here is my savings that I did. My 52-week savings, I do $53 every check out of that, and hang on, I can tell you which weeks this was. No, I can't. I was just kidding. I have no idea. So I do this backwards and forward. So I do the first week of the year, I did week 1 and week 52. And the second week of the year, I did week 2 and week 51. Every single paycheck I do 2 weeks, and every single paycheck it is $53. So far, I have been able to do that every check, and I really hope that that continues, because that's just over $1,300 at the end of the year that I will have that I can put toward my debt consolidation loan and try to get that paid off a little bit earlier. Or maybe I can use that to pay off, that's more than the amount of my laptop, so maybe I can use that to pay off my laptop that I just bought. But I'll use it to pay some debt at the end of the year. My budget mom, this is where for May, remember I said I hadn't been able to save the money in May, so out of this check I pulled my budget mom savings for May, and I also pulled my YouTube savings for May, so that's $141. I put those two in the same category. My emergency fund, I do $172 out of every check. Oh, it's not every check, sorry. Every month I do $172, so that way I will have just over $2,000 at the end of this year. I will be 42 in less than a month, and I started this year, when I started filming this, with $0 in savings. I think I had $29 in savings. And now, you saw when I did this, what did I have in my savings accounts? Can you see this? $1679.53 and $346. No, that's HSA. $1679.53 was in my savings account. So I'm almost at $2,000 total in my savings. And that's dedicated savings. That's not my sinking funds that I'm saving for specific, like replacing my car, or buying a new phone, or things like that. So that's not including those. These are just savings accounts. So I'm very happy with that. That leaves me $4.05 left out of this check, which I didn't have anywhere that I specifically needed it to go. I am sure that that will get put into something, giving most likely, maybe gas, maybe household, I don't know, but I'm sure it will get absorbed into something. If not, I will roll it into my next check, but that'll be the next month. I'm going to close out my month at the end of this check, because this check does go to the 23rd. And then there will only be 6 days left, less than a week left after that. So I think I'm going to try to stick to a month-to-month budget instead of a paycheck-to-paycheck budget. And I think that will help me keep this balanced. I hope all of this made sense to you, and I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, will you please give it a thumbs up? I really, truly appreciate every single one of you for coming and spending this time with me and letting me talk to you and walk through this with you. It helps me to make sense of it. It helps me stay accountable to know that people are out there and watching these videos. And if I say I'm going to save $172 a month and I don't, somebody's going to know that. And it's not just me, but other people know. So y'all, if you see me skip a month of my savings, you call me out on it. You tell me, hey Beck, where's your savings? Don't forget those. Anyway, I hope y'all are having a fantastic day wherever you are, and I will talk to you later. Bye!